So good morning guys and welcome to another how-to. Today we're going to replace a shower valve. My client here has had plumbers come in and say they can't replace this valve, that they need to come in and cut this whole entire tile out and everything. And that's generally not the case. So we're going to try to get the shower valve replaced today. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So it should be pretty cool and should be pretty easy. Shower valves are not very difficult. You're just taking things apart, unscrewing the valve, popping it out, going to find a new one, putting a new one back in. So hopefully it's going to be that easy. But y'all, let's go get it done. Okay, so the first thing you do, there's a little protector right here, a little cover that pops out. And that reveals behind here there's a screw. And you just basically take your screwdriver and take that little screw out. The handle just pops off just like that. And then this is a ring right here. This ring actually just unscrews. And this is a temperature sensor right here that basically adjusts the temperature. That'll pull out. And then this whole cover right here comes off, and it's caulked in a lot of times, so you'll have to take either a putty knife or a screwdriver and knock it out all the way around. Ooh, boy. They got some yuckiness back behind them. If you can see that, it's not wanting to focus, but they got some yucky in that wall back there. We'll have to look into that and see what that is. I know it's a little difficult to see back in there, but you have 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4 that actually come out. But before you do that, you got to turn the water off to the entire house. Otherwise, you're going to have a nice gusher coming out of here. But they got a lot of dirt and whatnot back, and I'm going to go make them aware of that real quick. Let them know what's going on. But you basically take those 4 screws off, and then we'll pop that valve out. See what kind of valve we have. All right, guys. To expedite this process, I've got my handy dandy little water vac. What I'll do is I'll pull that valve off, and there's going to be some residual water coming back out, and I'll just use that to suck it out so it doesn't get down on the wall. Like I said before, the water has been turned off, and everything is evacuated from the system, so we shouldn't have too much water coming out. You guys can't see it, but these screws are really rusty. It's really hard to see that, but they're super rusty. Alright, that's it, y'all. The front of that valve just pulls out. We're going to pull the inside out and see what we've got going on in there, and then go find this and put a new one in. It is really rusty all around here. That's been wet for a good while. So we're going to replace all of this and the valve cartridge and everything in this one. But there's a second shower valve right over there. So I'm not going to assume that that one's in better or worse shape. I'm going to go ahead and take that one apart as well and see what we've got going on inside of there to make sure that I can do it. Because if I can't do one, or if I can't do both, and I can only do one, They're actually going to remodel the entire shower. So, but plumbers come in and quoted them quite a bit of money to remove all of this tile and everything else to basically go in and replace this entire heart valve assembly. So I'm trying to save them the cost of doing that and just replacing the valves only. So let's get this other one knocked out and then go to Home Depot. That was on there pretty tight. That one feels like it may be cross-threaded because it's not coming off easy like it should. Yep, I believe it's been cross-threaded. Whew, buddy. Yeah, you can see those. Kind of hard to see if I can get it to focus. But you got little plastics all up in here from that being cross-threaded. Okay, so that one's not near as bad. That's how they're supposed to look. Nice and clean. Not a lot of gunk, not a lot of rust. So we'll do the same thing with this. We'll pop this whole cover off, these 4 screws, and pop this valve out. I don't know why I'm doing this manually with a busted up arm. That's what I have a drill for. Yep, that one's in much better shape. It looks a whole lot better.
2 hours later.
All right, y'all, so we got the part. Unfortunately, they don't make this, like literally do not make this. You can't get just this part. And what this does is, I don't have the thing out. Anyway, the black piece that sticks out that's threaded, this basically goes over that and holds that valve from coming out, and your 4 screws hold this in. Unfortunately, like I said, you can't get this. The one that was in this far one over here, it was actually completely deteriorated. And I went to 4 plumbing shops and I've talked to multiple plumbers and they were all like, they have never seen this thing completely disintegrated like that one was. So unfortunately, I had to buy the entire valve kit assembly just to get this one piece, this one brass piece. So we're gonna get this dismantled, get the new piece out and put all the new valves back in and then get her water back on. All right, so I'm just gonna take this old valve right here and pull this completely out. All right, so there's the piece I needed right there. That's crazy. All right, since this is a new install, we basically take our plumber's grease, and if you see on the back here, there's these little O-rings. So I'm just gonna lightly grease these O-rings, and the same thing's up front here. Put a little grease on them. You don't have to use much, just enough to get them lubricated. Alright, so there you have it, guys. Generally what we do is we'll go back and we'll put discussion covers back on and everything and get all that done. But since they had a previous leak in here, I want to turn the water on before I put all that back on. Otherwise I can't see what's going on inside of here. So I'm going to do the other valve real quick, get that one knocked out, and then put everything, turn the water back on, make sure there's no leaks, and then put everything back on. So let's go ahead and get that second one button back up. So I'm going to go turn the water back on real quick and make sure we don't have any leaks and whatnot. And then once we determine we don't have leaks, we'll put all the discussion covers back on and wrap this one up. Alright, we got the water back on and I don't see any leaks. Everything looks good down there. I don't see any problems. No leaky leaks on that one. So it looks like we're good to go. Get it buttoned back up. So this particular cover here has no directional, meaning there's no hot or cold anywhere on this. But from what it looks like, all the water has pooled down here, so I'm going to put it back the way that it was, just like so. So then you take your little ring that we took off earlier, and it simply just screws on. Be careful to don't cross thread it like the other one was. You want to make sure that those threads catch without binding. There should be no binding once this starts to screw on. It should go right on without any kind of binding. Okay, so that looks good. So I'll just move the pressure sensor. I have to check that. So something I forgot to mention, when you're replacing these temperature stops, this is a hot temperature stop. Sometimes they're set pretty low. I like to set mine all the way hot so they have full control of the heat. So you're going to rotate that pretty much all the way counterclockwise. And you basically just screw that back on, hand tight. That's it. You don't want to crank it down too much. And get your teeth lined up with your handle. Put your screw back in. Always make sure that you hold this when you tighten this down, because if not, this actually could open up and then you'll take an inadvertent shower. We have done that on numerous occasions. Get your little plug. Put your little plug back in. That shower's pretty much finished. I'm going to come back here and put some clear caulk around this whole complete tile to discussion cover, so that way no water will get back down in there. Alright, so this one here was the one you guys recalled that was stripped. But we have a whole brand new valve assembly and cartridge, so we shouldn't have that problem again. I've cleaned out all the little stringies that were in this one, so this is really clean right now. Same as like the other one. Take your little cover. Now some of these will have a little weep hole at the bottom like this. I don't know if you can see that. That foam's kind of cut out. And it has got a little itty bitty notch. Kind of hard to see on camera. There's a little bitty notch right there. So that way if any water gets back down in here, it actually drips down. Alright, put your valve back on. Tighten her up. Remember, hold on to your valve so you don't get wet. Alright, so now all I gotta do is just clean everything up, because the one side made a pretty good mess with all that dirt. Get everything cleaned up. I'm gonna test the pressure sensor, make sure everything works out good, and then get everything else cleaned up, and we're done. So that's how you install a shower valve and a shower valve cartridge. So it's not too hard. This one wasn't so bad, except for the part of I had to go find the part. But really it wasn't too bad. So thank you guys for hanging out. If you like this how-to video, y'all know what to do. Give me that thumbs up. And if you really like it, click on that subscribe button for more amazing, awesome how-to videos. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.